How we doing, guys?
Good. Why did you decide to make the decision on Alexander, and why do you think it would have a positive impact at this stage of the season?
Yeah, every decision we make in the best interest of the entire Dallas Cowboys football team. And we just felt, after we analyzed where we were, we felt like that decision would help our football team. And we felt like we had a good solution in giving Marc Colombo the opportunity to be the main line coach, and opportunity to bring Hudson Houck back, who's been with us before. I know him well. This organization knows him well, and we felt like he and Marc working together would allow us to create the kind of environment for offensive line where they could be their best.
Would you have made this decision if Hudson would not have been able to come back at this time?
It was a big part of the decision. There's no question about that. We felt like those two guys together really can do what we want to do with our offensive line. Philosophically, they're very similar. Obviously, Marc has never been the main offensive line coach before in his career, so this is the first opportunity to do that. Obviously, Hud's done it a long time, has tremendous experience, certainly philosophically in line with what we want to do here, a big part of laying the foundation for our offense many years ago. And believe very strongly in him and those guys working together. We think it's going to help our offensive line, our offense, and our football team.
What were those guys struggling with in picking up what Paul wanted them to do?
I don't want to get into too much detail about that. Paul, I have the utmost respect for him as a person and as a pro. Obviously, he's been doing this at a high level for a long, long time. We just felt like for what we want to accomplish with our team, this was the right move to make. And again, we felt like we had great answers for it. Give Marc an opportunity. He's had a big role for us the last few years. That role has gotten bigger and bigger. And again, he in tandem with Hud, we believe is going to get what we want for our offensive line.
Did you go to the general manager with the decision? Was this your decision that you wanted to make?
Yes.
Going forward?
What was the biggest selling point to get Hud to come out of retirement, because he's been gone for a while?
Hud and I are good friends. We've talked a lot through the years. He's had a big influence on me going all the way back to when I was playing here. Developed that relationship. I coached with him in Miami. We coached together here. And, he's someone I just hold in the highest regard as a person and certainly as a football coach. And he's been someone who's been a great mentor and advisor to me at every step. And in talking about some of the things that we wanted to get accomplished, it just made sense that he was a guy who could come in. He coached Marc. He's been here. He knows our system. He knows how we want to do things. And, he's been very active since he left here. He's been working with the guys to get ready for the combine and get ready for the draft. We've talked about some of the guys that he's worked with through the years leading up to the draft. So we've maintained that relationship. He's still very active in football, and it just made sense. And we talked about what the structure would be, that Marc would be the line coach, and he would be the senior assistant helping him. And there's a lot of stuff that he's very familiar with, schematically and technically, with how we've done things for a while here, but there's a lot of stuff that he has to pick up quickly because things evolve and things change. So he's done a great job coming in here, getting to work, and really being an asset to us in a few short days. So we think it's going to be a great combination for our team going forward.
Is he here more for Marc because Marc's never been in front of the room before, or is he here more to be hands-on with the players?
A combination. Typically most teams have two offensive line coaches. And again, usually it's the more experienced guy who's the lead line coach. But we're going to give Marc an opportunity to do it, and he's handled it well so far. Again, he's been a huge contributor to what we've been doing with our offensive line the last few years, and we just felt like having another guy in here, let's get an experienced guy who knows what we want, knows what we're all about. He's working with Marc, but he's certainly working with the players as well, and he's really benefiting our whole football team.
The release was Monday. Is that when you made the decision on Monday, after thinking out over the weekend?
Well, obviously we had a lot of discussions about it over the weekend, and I talked to Paul Alexander on Monday morning.
Knowing this was under consideration and this was something that could happen, were you concerned at all about, just because of that, the optics of you being at a baseball game while this decision happens and then this move is made after you get back?
Yeah, I'm not real concerned with that. When we have a bye, typically what happens is we get a chance to practice a couple times with our players. We did that last week on Wednesday and Thursday. And then really what we try to do as a coaching staff is evaluate every part of our organization, offense, defense, kicking game, every situation, do a comprehensive evaluation and analysis of that. And then, one of the things that I've always tried to encourage everybody to do with the in-season bye is to get away from football and get out of town and, go do what you want to do. Go to your high school football game, go to a college game, go see your mom, your dad, your brothers, whoever you want to see. If you're a beach guy, go to the beach. If you're a mountain guy, go to the mountains. Do whatever you want to do to get away from it, to get yourself refreshed, recharged, and ready to go again. And that's certainly something we believe in. Obviously, for coaches, it's harder to do that. You try to change the environment, but we worked all weekend trying to get this resolved, and felt good about the conversations we had with all the principals involved. We came back in on Monday morning and made that decision.
How much does it feel like you're hitting the reset button here with these moves that have sort of corresponded with the bye?
Well, one of the things you try to do with the bye, again, is to get refreshed, recharged, and recommit to what you're doing. Regardless of where you are in your season, that's what happens. That's what the bye is for. And again, you want to get away from ball and you want to come back, and it's a blank slate. If you're 7-0 or 0-7, it's a blank slate. Let's start again. And that's something we try to instill in our team week in and week out, but this is the opportunity to do that. So, getting away, giving yourself a chance to get recharged and coming back with a clean slate is important. And again, to the essence of your question, an opportunity to make a couple of these moves. It was good to get Amari in here last week to get a couple practices under his belt. He spent a lot of time with Sanjay Lal over the weekend. Sanjay had a family situation in California he was taking care of, and Amari was out there just transitioning back. So they spent 3 days together, continuing to get up to snuff on what we're doing. So that was a positive thing. And then obviously Hud has familiarity here. We got him in here Sunday night. He went to work on Monday after we made the decision, and you hit the ground running.
What was Cooper able to do with Lal, and just if you can walk us through a little bit of what they were going over and how much time is?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just to get up to speed on what we're doing, how we call things, where he lines up in different formations, what his responsibilities are, what his adjustments are, all the details. He spent a lot of time with Dak Prescott too, via FaceTime here in 2018, but also once he got back in town after transitioning back here. So it's been positive for us. Having the extra day has been positive as well for everybody to get acclimated. Playing the Monday night game, we had a bonus day this week, so all that worked to our favor.
Like a couple hours a day, him and Sanjay were together out there, or how long?
Yeah, you'll have to ask specifically about them, but I got reports every night.
Amari got back here on Monday and started working with
Again,
Dak.
you'll have to ask him. I know he was there the whole weekend.
Was Marc considered for the O-line job back when Frank was let go?
He was, and really, to be honest with you, a big part of the decision was to have an experienced guy, a guy who's done it before, and we felt like Marc, again, was making great contributions to our team, but he hadn't really done it yet, so we felt like he, in combination with Paul, would give us the best of both worlds, and ultimately, we felt like the best decision for our team was to move on from Paul and give Marc this opportunity and pair him up with Hud and give our offensive line a great opportunity to get better starting this week.
The fact that he's only a few years removed from being a player himself help relate to some of the guys, maybe connect with the guys a little bit better?
Yeah, that's always something that people talk about. I don't think there's any question that if you played the game, if you played the position, I do think you have an ability to maybe connect a little bit more authentically with the player because you've been in that situation. Having said that, there have been so many great coaches in the history of this league who haven't played in the NFL. So, that's certainly not, a requirement for this, but there certainly are benefits to it. The emotional part of what it's like to be a player, handle success, handle adversity. I think Marc does a great job of that and connecting with the players, having been in these specific situations, having been asked to do this as a player, whatever that is, whatever that technique is. I think he can relate well with that. And again, he in combination with Hud, I think give our guys a great chance to get better every day.
With the trade and this coaching move, what should people read into these moves of what you guys believe can still happen this year?
Yeah, we're always trying to get better. We believe very strongly in our team. We have a young football team. We played some close games here in the early part of the season. We won one of them. We lost a couple of them. We're going to learn from those experiences and keep going. But this team's going about it the right way. They're working hard. They're competing. And I think they're getting better week by week. And they're growing from the experiences they have. And, again, you try to get away during the bye, refresh, recharge, get ready to go again. Excited to see these guys. It's been a long time since we practiced. Excited to get back out on the practice field today.
What's y'all's read on Jeff Swaim's status for practice this week?
Jeff will not practice today. If he does anything, it'll be on the side with our trainers, and we'll just see how he responds to that work.
Randy, ready to go?
Randy will not practice today. He's really in the same boat. Work with our rehab guys on the side, and hopefully as the week goes on, get more work.
Zach?
Zach will not fully practice today either. He's kind of in the same boat, but hopefully that each of those guys, as the week goes on, they get better, get a chance to practice, and hopefully ready to play in the ball game.
Anybody else?
Tavon will not practice. Joe Thomas will not practice. I think that's it.
What's your confidence level in the tight ends behind Jeff and what you've seen from them so far this year?
Well, they're young, and but again, we're excited about what they're doing. You know, each of those guys has different strengths. Dalton Schultz played more snaps last week, so anticipate him obviously to play if Jeff's not able to go. Same thing with Blake and same thing with Rico. So they're learning as they go. They're getting better. They're going about it the right way. We're coaching them as hard as we can, and they're responding well. So, you know, every time there's an injury or guys out of the lineup, it provides an opportunity. It provides more snaps for those guys. So they're preparing as best they can to take advantage of that.
You just started using Schultz in the last couple of weeks. Where is he, and how is he as far as his blocking ability?
He's getting better. You know, that's one of the things we liked about him. He was a complete tight end at Stanford, played with his hand on the ground, did NFL-type stuff, and he's demonstrated that up to this point. And had an opportunity a couple of weeks ago to have him up as the fourth tight end, and he played a lot of snaps in the game, and he literally got better as the game was going on. And he's the kind of guy who's going to learn from those experiences. We'll coach him hard, and hopefully gets better as we go.
Because of your inexperience at tight end and then the Jeff Swain injury, did you guys look at that position for the trade deadline? Was that something you guys
Not really. You know, we're always looking at every opportunity to help our team get better. And, you know, our personnel guys do a great job of that. They're in constant communication with people around the league. We're always looking at rosters, and there was nobody that got to the point that it was a legit comprehensive discussion.
Were you close on maybe trying to upgrade the safety position at the deadline?
Again, we have a lot of conversations about a lot of players really every day. We feel good about where our safeties are. I really like what Jeff Heath has done, and Xavier Woods continues to get better week in and week out. So feel good about those guys, complete confidence in them, and you know, excited about them going forward.
You're looking to get Amari Cooper acclimated and get the passing game back on track. What challenges does the Titans secondary present with Malcolm Butler and Kevin Byard?
Well, it's more than just those guys. They're good players, but they got good players across the board back there and really throughout their defense. So it starts with blocking them up front, doing a great job controlling the line of scrimmage, but they're very active. They show you different looks. They're good cover guys, both in man and zone. And, you know, those guys you mentioned have been good players in this league for a long time. The biggest thing we have to do is focus on us, and in Amari's case, just focus on understanding what we're asking him to do and go play, and play it fast, play with decisiveness and conviction. That's really where our focus is.
Back on the World Series thing for a second, Jimmy came out and said it wasn't a good look, didn't send the right message. Does perception matter?
Yeah, I have the utmost respect for Coach Johnson. You know, I was fortunate to play for him for a couple of years, and just a great experience, and he's been a friend and a mentor to me really through the years. So that's really all I want to say on that. I just hold him in the highest regard.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, good to see you.